All right, beginning of the third turn here at Lutter, or Lutter, I don't know. And we have a problem. The Protestants are in charge with two of their formations. They're going to go first because of that, outranking the Catholic order choices. And the Danes advance forward with their heavy infantry. They take the worst of that because they're hitting formed Catholic units now for the most part. We managed to get Anhold off the map, though. He was sitting up here, and he got shot out. And yeah, this game is very bloody if you have your leaders anywhere near the combat. Every time there's a hit, there's a 1 in 10 chance they're just out of there, which is similar to Great Battles of History. I find it harder in this to keep your leaders out of the combat. They have to be stacked with a unit, and quite often, due to the command restrictions, they end up in a dangerous place, especially the Cav leaders. This guy I probably could have kept off the front line. But so I lose another good Catholic leader there, probably. And let's see. Had to advance everywhere because it's a charge. We had some out of command units, but I managed to restore their command. Of course, that infantry that I had skewed over here to provide a flanking effect has turned and started marching with the rest of the infantry, and some of these guys are charging into the swamp, not causing a good effect at all for the Protestants. I think I probably could have kept one of them up here, this formation shaking guy, but whatever. And we also had a cav charge over here, which this is a Danish unit under there. I can't really pick it up easily. He managed to destroy the countercharge against the hill there. Now I've got potential for melee. Now the Danes don't really want to melee. They're outnumbered by most of these pieces, and at this point, because they advanced, out-morale. So we're going to allow, I guess, and I didn't get a 2-hex charge, so I'm not getting any momentum attacks there. I guess we're going to allow... we made Christian the overall commander so that he could go rally some units. That second line's going to be out of command. It's not going to get to do anything. I actually viewed that as being probably better than having them continue to press forward. Big part of why I did what I did. But anyway, the chances are we're going to see the Catholics do some attacks, though. Because they have the edge right now. They're in better formation shape. This one may not want to attack, although it would certainly defend better. I don't think it wants to launch an attack. But here and here, I've got the edge. I might as well launch attacks. I can't do one here because he's got to be able to hit the center hex. A couple of the wings are out of play, right? The second echelon, because I sent Christian over there, and for them, the center, for the Catholics, the center, because they lost their leader over here. So they go over to this Gronsfeld, and he tries to move forward and position himself to attack. Turns out to be, I think it was this unit. I don't know. I don't know what he attacked. No, it's gone. There were a couple of attacks. He'd managed a countercharge as well, trying to protect this, although I couldn't actually attack that because I was in make ready formation, but the Protestant wasn't really paying attention. Neither was the Catholic, for that matter. He thought he was launching a charge. Anyway, we got 2 more Protestants off the map and a couple more Catholics dead, chased off the map. It's getting really ugly. We're down to 2 cav each over here. That looks like it's just going to peter out. The real thing here is the Protestants have a lot more cav over here, I think. It's hard to tell. They certainly have a whole wedge of infantry there. They got a routing unit there. I forgot to move him at the beginning of the turn. Or at the end of last turn, he's up there. Catholics are now into 2 rally positions. Everything except that center wing, which is holding up pretty well. They've got to be careful. If they get hit really hard in the center, it's possible that it'll be thrown into rally. Very unlikely, though, especially with units back here. I probably should launch a fire at this when this moved. Shit. That's not going to graze up here, though, and that's where I wanted to shoot. I'll leave it be. Alright, so now we got that 3rd echelon, and that's going to be a bitch to figure out where it is. A lot of it's under those salvo markers, but the rest is kind of in this tangled mess. And for the end of the turn, that third echelon is now in receive charge, so that they could kind of rally more quickly. They moved some of their units up, or reform more quickly. The Catholic Cav, yeah, they also went into receive charge. Now they managed to get an attack in and destroy another Protestant Cav over here, the one that had advanced too far. They also managed to reform some of their units, but this guy is taking fire at penalty, -3 penalty total for formation shaken, plus that hill there. That's just taking continuous fire, trying to reform in the face of the enemy infantry. The Cav could fire at it too. I don't like using Cav pistol fire much. Even with the arquebusiers, right? They have like a +1 or something. I don't know. Yeah, they have a +1. But overall, you know, here I would be firing. I would have to get a 6 or higher to get a hit. And then I've used up a shot, which kind of... It's why I say, you know, the Carcassonne or whatever is widely regarded as kind of useless. But... actually desiring to use it in the game is painful. So I don't know. And it feels like the Cav charge is way too much, at least in my hands. All right. That puts us to the end here. We got Anhalt to check to see if he comes back. Oh, a 0. That I think means he does. So we'll get him. Now we're gonna put him towards the back a little bit. Try to keep him from getting killed. And we'll be moving to turn 4. We got a route. This is going off the board. More Cav, yeah. Can't keep them all in command. Oh boy, this guy too. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get him running. And then we restore the fired units. And Christian, I think he did everything he could there. Tilly did not. He's got at least 2 of these that I didn't count for. And I'll probably move him somewhere. I think he's got a 3rd one. Well, we'll leave him alone for that. Alright, anyway, that's where we are at the end of 3. I think things are going pretty badly for the Danes overall. I'd hoped for more of a breakthrough here. This is just kind of turning into a mess, and their pushback here, that did not work at all for them. Well, I couldn't afford to keep that second echelon out of play, so I removed Christian from overall command of the army. He went back there, took over, and moved forward with his line. Had some Cav, and I'm never sure about the rules here, but they were kind of engaged, and it would have been really a pain to get them out of that engagement. So I had them fight off their enemy. They broke them, didn't pursue them. I don't know, they may be supposed to try to find their way home first, but when they're engaged like that, I kind of let them fight. I don't know whether I'm breaking the rules or not. Over here, before Christian moved over to the infantry, he launched an attack on, who is this? Kronberg now. Yeah, he's the replacement. And chased him off the board. Not Christian himself, but the other unit that was in command. Then he ran back and left this poor formation shaken unit back here, which actually probably has to find its way back in command. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll do. So I didn't activate them yet. The next activation goes to that front rank command. That's not perfect, because I just don't like the way the fight's turning out, but they don't have anywhere they can go. So I'm going to try to get out of charge with them and into receive charge, so I can bring some of these units back into at least not formation shaken or broken. Well, Anhalt's center has just pushed forward in its activations and really crushed that first echelon. We got units running, and this one was the but we got 3 units running here. Try to focus in and I lose my focus. We also have a heavy unit here trying to cover against these lights, prevent them from just grabbing those cannons. Those are in a lot of danger, and actually probably should have been already disabled at this point. Except that I slipped out of charge and into holding the line. Now it looks like we go over to that third echelon over here. The third echelon had attempted an unsuccessful preemption. Doesn't get anything off. Basically, I'm trying to recover the cav unit back here. But the rest of these really need to get into charge, and they weren't able to do it this turn. Well, they didn't try, which is probably foolish, but they can't get any closer. They're one hex away for the most part, or there's cluttered stuff from other echelons in there that I can't figure out when to get out or how or whatever, just because I forget about them. Now over here, let's see, the only thing remaining was the left wing for the Catholics. They weren't able to get a continuation. They did some formation change or reformation. And then over here on this Gronsfeld's wing or whatever, well, they're out of commanders again, so they can't do anything. I was able to rally Tilly's unit. I got some routed units all over the place for the Protestants, though, and those are going to run. Let me see if I get a commander. Ooh, a 1. I think that's... Okay, that puts my commander up for next turn, but I get Kronberg. I get a replacement for him, which... what to do. I'll give it over there. That'll give me more flexibility. But it does look like the Catholics are cracking the line here. And, you know, we see a bunch of routing units just fleeing. It's going to be tough to get that first line back into shape. That's going to be the main goal. Now, what's kind of neat about this second line, and it's got holes in it for the first line to sort of run through, although this poor guy had to run the gauntlet of guns on his route, so he's not in good shape. But this allows me now to make that second line the front line and bring the first echelon and try to recover it behind it. And that's kind of cool. You don't usually see that. The way the game normally works, you fall back with your front line, and now you've got the choice. Do you continue using that formation, or do you try to recover the front part of the formation and let the rear of it serve as kind of a shield? And, you know, quite often that's a tough decision, but here there's no such tough decision. It's going to be fairly easy to just throw this all into rally or whatever, I hope, and then leave the fighting to another whole formation. There are problems. What I'd like to do on the field, what would be sort of the optimal, is to have, say, 6, instead of 3 wings, have 6 wings, a front wing with a commander, so that you have the echelon advantages and the wing advantages, so that you don't have to command a whole line to move forward and work all at once. Now, the description from the designers seems to indicate, well, this battle really was a problem. The echelon formation did cause difficulties of the sort that, you know, you're going to see with the line stretching way out, etc., and things not really being capable of holding together well. I'm just saying, hey, if I had the ability to choose one, well, having twice as many formations would, of course, be significantly better because, well, first of all, you're less likely to get them all thrown into rally and lose the battle there. All right, I guess I'll load this one up and clean up some of the issues, fired guns and stuff like that.